I was tagged in this Am I Overreacting post. She says, Am I overreacting to boyfriend sending me an article, 13 Ways to Keep Your Husband Happy? Here are some of the screenshots. So he sends her this from this website called outkick.com. We'll get back to that. She thumbs it down. And he says, I know you're really busy with other stuff, but I thought this was really good. She says, KK, I'll read it when I have a husband. Thanks. And then he does the cry face emoji. And he says, You probably won't have one in me if things don't change. She says, Bye. And then she says, The article titled 13 Ways to Keep Your Husband Happy from Outkick presents outdated and problematic views regarding gender roles in relationships. It suggests traditional and sometimes explicit advice on how women should behave to keep their husbands happy, often emphasizing subservience and actual obligation. The tone and content can be seen as reinforcing stereotypes and minimizing the complexity of modern partnerships. She says Outkick is a sports and pop culture website that often caters to a male audience, and this particular article aligns with that demographic's entertainment focus. And the man says, Hats off to Jennifer. Jennifer is the person that wrote in for the article. So I did go over to Outkick and I went to their About page, and you can see that it is sports betting culture analysis. It literally is sports and entertainment, and this is targeting men. It says About who we are. Outkick drives the national conversation about sports and American culture with original, smart, fearless reporting along with common sense analysis, questioning the consensus and exposing the destructive nature of woke activism. Outkick is the antidote to the mainstream sports media that often serves an elite, left-leaning minority instead of the American sports fan. This part right here, owned by Fox Corporation, Outkick was founded by Clay Travis in 2011 and is based in Nashville. So that tells me all I need to know about this article and what is in this. So here's the OP with the caption. She says, We've been together for over 10 years and have 2 toddlers. However, we are not married. We've been talking about marriage and rings recently, but now I'm questioning marrying someone who would send me a lame ass article like this. And then she copies and pastes the whole article. It says, After her mailbag debut, Jennifer, that's who wrote it, an Auburn fan from suburban Nashville, wanted to write an entire column for how wives can keep their husbands happy. Yes, she is real. Now she has advice for all married women. It says, A couple of weeks back, I wrote into the mailbag asking if I was the only wife giving her husband a weekly BJ. Most people thought I was a BJ deprived husband writing in hopes of his wife seeing it and somehow getting on board with the idea. Some commenters thought I was not real, and another asked how big the diamond would have to be for me to leave my husband and marry him. Well, I got news for you. Diamonds are not my thing. My husband is. If a girl insists on having a big diamond, that should be your first clue to get out while you still can. So she says she's real. She's been with her husband for 20 years, and now she's going to share all of these pick me things that you can do for your husband. Now, this is kind of long. I'm only going to give 2 sentences or so in each little area, and she is listed as 1 twice. So at the end, it says 12. But she says, number 1, give him a BJ at least once a week. This is not hard to do. It does not have to be the same day every week, but do it when the mood strikes you. He would be more than happy to come home from a long day of work to a BJ. Trust me. She says, spitters are quitters. All right. And then number 1 again, give it up more often. Sleeping with your husband should not be work. It should be pleasure. I trust you've heard it all. The way to a man's heart is through his stomach. Your mom and or grandma have told you this for years. Your mother-in-law told you the same thing when you and your husband got engaged. All right. Number 2, and all of this has to do with X. Number 2, step up your X game. Put on some lady of the night clothes and tell him you've been a bad girl. Send him text messages telling him what a dirty girl you are. And like I said in the beginning, this is the reason why I showed you what Outkick was, because obviously anything that a woman were to publish would be for the entertainment of men. Number three, quit bitching. This would go a long way to keeping your husband happy. Does it really matter which way the toilet paper is on the roll as long as it's on there? Does it really matter if he hasn't taken out the trash today? Are your hands broken? Oh my God. Yeah, this literally sounds like pick me. Number four, no, yeah, number four. Let him look at other women. So he likes Kate Upton because she's hot. Honestly, who doesn't? She is pretty hot. So what? Let him look at her. She is not going to swoop in and take your husband away to some magical land where they all they do is bang it out all day. This is not going to happen. Number five, don't use the kids as an excuse. We have three kids with 9 years between the first and the last. I have had little kids at home for a very long time. When I gave birth to all three of our kids and wasn't available, my mouth still was. This is what she's writing in. Number six, stop trying to change him. He married you hoping you would never change, and you married him hoping he would. You thought he had potential to be a great father and husband someday. Goodness gracious, stop. He is who he is, and you're doing all this fostering a feeling of ill will and resentment. Okay, so like I said, this is for men's entertainment. Number seven, let him do the things he enjoys. I know, sound crazy, right? You have been home all week while he got to go out and earn a living, so you should be able to have him on the weekends. Or you have worked all week too, and the chores don't do themselves. I get that you want to spend time with him. If you let him go out and enjoy his hobbies, he will appreciate that. Number eight, stop keeping score. Life is not a pissing contest. Who cares if you're right? Who cares how many times you have taken the trash out compared to the amount of time he's helped you with the laundry? You're not going to die and have God say, well, you were right 87% of the time, and you did do 97% more of the chores than your husband. Oh, okay. No. Number nine, don't be a yoko. Men get married to awful women who expect they will drop all of their friends when they tie the knot, or at least the ones she doesn't like. Stop breaking up the band. It is so much more fun to get involved in the stuff they do than to stand around and bitch about it. Number 10, stop making him do he doesn't want to do and go places he doesn't want to go. Stop with the couple's baby showers. Okay, so don't worry about him doing his hobbies. Just let him go. Don't worry about spending time with him. Don't try to make him do chores. Number 11, be cool. I realize that this may be the hardest part of all for you to do. It is a very broad statement, but it really encompasses all of the intangibles a man is really looking for in a mate. I have been considered the cool wife for a while now. I've been invited to play golf, go to games, go out drinking, and other stuff that other fun things that are generally considered guy stuff. So she is literally the pick me, the I'm not like other girls type of lady. Y'all, she says, I tell teen jokes and laugh when my husband and his friends do the same. Ew, I also know some of the jokes will be about me and I embrace it. All right, number 12. If all else fails, X will cure it all. If you find yourself struggling with any of the topics above, resort back to numbers 1 or 2. When he comes in after a long, grueling day at work, have a cold beer ready for him and tell him when the kids go to bed, you will give him a BJ. Ladies, that is how you keep your husband happy. Your husband is reading this right now, nodding his head at everything I have written. If you don't read Outkick, you really are missing out. Your husband is now plotting on how he will get this article into your hands, channeling his inner Ralphie in the Christmas story, who put an ad for the Red Ryder BB gun in his mother's magazine. Okay, so that's it. Just let a man do what he wants to. Don't try to make him do chores. Don't try to get him to engage you at home or go on dates or anything. Just let him do whatever he wants to do. Have a beer ready for him and give him a BJ. All right, Lily OA says, I couldn't even finish the article because I was so mad. This article promotes actual coercion, which is 1000% a form of abuse. Maybe your husband doesn't realize that in such explicit terms, but it wouldn't take a genius to at least recognize the disrespectful tone of the article. Absolutely not overreacting, OP. I would only add that him sending you this Plus, the comments from both of you, mainly him though, seem indicative of some deeper problems in your relationship. And then the OP says, thank you, and your addition is spot on. And then Sad Community is wondering, you're dumping him, right? This guy needs to learn the hard way. We need to stop rewarding sheep men for their behavior. Leave his butt. And then Upset Tap says this. I'm in a couple of mom groups, and I swear I say this daily. I hear, stop letting them do this. Stop engaging with misogynistic spouses. Stop rewarding shitty behavior. I get why a male leaning website for sports and gambling would post this. And, I know that this is for men's entertainment, but this just is indicative of what they really see with their wife appliances. And I can understand why women are opting out. Y'all join the conversation. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.